welcome back to Careful Boys. A congressperson from Tennessee has confirmed that there are UAP underwater bases.
How does he know?
Because he's in the know. He's
a congressman.
He's in Congress.
That's so cool, dude.
Crazy. So we're gonna watch this. Check this.
What if these are entities that are here on this earth, that have been on this earth, who knows how long, and that we, we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here and they're in these deep water areas. And that's why, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there. Now, we have a higher propensity of sightings around these 5 or 6, I believe, deep water areas. And so to me, it just, it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that we have these sightings and that there's these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we've got is something that does maybe just a little under 40 miles an hour. So I got a lot of questions about that stuff, and I mean.
There's also another video I'm going to play real quick.
Oh, I know what happened.
What's that?
So he watched Avatar: Way of Water, and then he realized that was a documentary, not a.
That could be. That could very well be. So this is George Knapp, who is one of the. He's been talking about UFO stuff for a very, very long time. He's an absolute OG.
Representative Burchett, we heard you say in another interview that you pretty much know where at least 5 of these bases are, and that you know why they're in that spot. Is it something beyond it's deep and it's hidden, or is there some other reason where these USO bases might be where you believe they are?
I think it's deep, it's hidden, and I think some people know about it. If in fact they exist, I think they do. And the more you get into this thing, the more the people come to you. And as I stated, I'm a Christian. I'm not a very good one. And people talk about it being demonic and that back and forth and how it could upset the balance of Christianity and stuff. And I just don't believe that, dude. I think Genesis 1, God created the heavens and the earth. First chapter of Ezekiel. Ezekiel saw the wheel, or wheel within a wheel. And I think it's, honestly, do you think we're the best God can do? Yeah. And I think there's some people that get it, and either they're not allowed to talk or they've been silenced. And that's why they discredit people like me and Burleson, or try to.
What is that statement, though? If in fact it does exist, I believe it does.
He's trying to talk around, things that he can't say.
Yeah, it seems like that, because the very first video, I was like, I don't believe this motherfucker at all.
Right.
This one, the way he's like talking around it, I'm like, nah, maybe I could believe it.
I wanted to play both. Did you guys watch Age of Disclosure yet? It's freaking bomb. Me and Nikki watched it the other day, and it has everybody in it. So we played the trailer obviously here and for the audience. Everybody in it is somebody legitimate from Congress or intelligence. They have James Clapper in it. He was a former director of national intelligence. Like, everybody in there is super reputable, and they're all talking about the same topic and how it needs to be disclosed because it's been going on for a long time. And we have craft that we've recovered. This was all released in the New York Times in 2017. So we've been covering the story for like years and years now. And basically, it's getting even more. We're getting even closer now to them just coming out and saying, this is what's going on.
They already said there's aliens, no? Is that what we're talking about?
They say that they have recovered craft over the years and that they have biologics, right? So like they recovered, people basically, or something that's not us, right?
That was not true. The one that they found in Mexico or something?
Yeah, that was bullshit.
Yeah, but anyways.
That was debunked.
That was like a sandcastle or something, dude. I don't know what that was.
Actually, it was like a mini little alien body thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of a disclosure project? No. So there's a PSYOP. You know what a PSYOP is? When they take these narratives and then they infiltrate it, right? Mm-hmm. And then now they control like how people see the whole alien situation by like giving misinformation, all that. So one of the biggest conspiracies is the government is slowly leaking out this information and scaring us, so then we give up our rights and it can create like a one world government because we need to fight those aliens. And then they're using tech to pretend to be aliens and shit, but it's actually just like human high level technology by the military to be like, these UFOs are just crazy, but we'll never see the alien.
That doesn't sound crazy to me.
It does. It so doesn't sound crazy that it's almost even like seeding out whatever similar versions of information to different political people and having them be unaware of it that are reputable, and then also like influencing somehow the creation of a documentary like Age of Disclosure.
Yeah.
You know, and the people who are making the documentary aren't aware that they're doing it for that reason. Exactly. You know, it's like the Kim Jong-un, whatever, assassination of his uncle or whatever, or brother in the train station. And those people who actually did the assassination, they thought they were part of a game show. There's like so many levels to it that like, if there's a higher purpose, something like a one world, new world order, it's like, it would seem almost simple to do these psyops.
Crazy. Like every time I see like a senator talk or like that guy talk, he's probably a really smart guy, but I just, whenever they talk like that, I feel like there is levels, but it's definitely not them, right? Like what the fuck?
I know what you're talking about. It's like, I don't think you got clearance like that, bro. You're like one of the dudes that like...
Who's doing the first world order? Definitely not these guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not aware of it, so they're being seeded out information. So they think they're doing a right. So it's very convincing. They're convinced that they're telling a truth.
Do you guys know who Richard Doty is?
Sounds familiar.
Richard Doty, there's a great documentary I recommend to everybody called Mirage Men. Came out in 2013. This guy named Richard Doty's the center subject of the documentary, and it's about counter intelligence and how his job was working for the government, and he would infiltrate like UFO conventions and stuff like that, and he would give them bullshit from the government, complete bullshit, but then he would give them some truth. And the documentary basically like wraps this whole story around, what is he telling you right now? Is it true or is it fake? It's very, very good. Like as far as like how they pull off these counterintelligence operations, like what Joe's talking about, like, because they're never going to tell you the truth fully. They're always going to give you bullshit so that when you do hear the truth, you think it's bullshit too.
And then very, very ignorant, naive questioning. What's like the international community stance on these types of things?
So there's been disclosure from Israeli ex-prime minister.
Okay, so just for the sake of current affairs, let's take Israel out of the picture.
Oh shit! All right.
There was a high up military guy in Canada that was pressing the Canadian
That's fair,
government
right?
to like disclose and unravel some shit. But he was like a high ranking guy. He knows the whispers behind the scenes. So he was just like, you guys need to say.
Still too close to America. I'm saying
We've had Mexican intelligence.
too close to America.
We've had British intelligence come out about it.
A little too close
So you
to
say
America.
like if China?
Yeah, because I'm saying if aliens are coming and they only come to America and all the things that happen are like in America or like close to.
One of the parts about Age of Disclosure is that they talk about there was a craft that crashed in Russia and it was recovered by the Russians. And there's another one where during World War II, there was a UAP that crashed. I believe it was somewhere in Italy, and the Vatican actually helped exfiltrate the craft to the United States. That's another famous one.
But you know how like you said most of the things is recovered in America, right? Like most.
No,
of
I'm just wondering. Like that's an ignorant question.
It's true.
no.
It is fact that most reports are from America, though.
But I think that there's probably, if there was in China or whatever, I think the government was just like, okay, get back to work.
Chinese don't care.
They don't. Why would they give a fuck?
That's true. They're like, how can I monetize that?
Well, apparently there's one craft, and I don't know where it is, but it's so big, and I don't think it's in the United States, but apparently it was so big when it crashed that they built an entire building around it because they couldn't move it.
This one isn't a crash, but there's a pretty famous story of an encounter in Africa, and there's a UFO that landed by an elementary school, and all these little kids just ran up and like saw it, and then so you have literally like 70 eyewitness from faculty and students that tell you like this is what they saw, this is who they interacted with, and things like that.
Yep.
I watched another thing too where there was
And they all tell the same story. That's important. They all tell the exact same story. They were interrogated a bunch. Exact same story.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
And then what happened?
No, I'm just saying other countries outside of the U.S. that had encounters and stuff like that. I mean, that's just the incident that they had, right?
Zimbabwe, yeah. It was 62 kids at this school called Ariel School, and they're all aged between 6 and 12. They said they saw one or more silver craft descend from the sky and land on the field near their school. Some of the children claimed that one or more creatures dressed in all black then approached and telepathically communicated to them a message with an environmental theme, frightening them and causing them to cry.
So they did a controlled interview individually with each kid to make sure they didn't talk to each other.
And it was just kids, none of the faculty staff.
So one of the teachers apparently saw it as well.
Yeah.
And then what? It just bounced.
And then it bounced, yeah. And it said click subscribe before it left.
What was just out of curiosity?
Don't forget to click subscribe.
What was the environmental themed message? Did it mention?
I have it. Hang
Well,
on.
I remember what it is. So it was basically like humans need to stop fucking wasting all the resources and damaging the earth.
Got it.
Zimbabwe's this? Does it?
I know, right? That's kind of stupid.
Well,
like you could have told you could have gone to Germany or some
Don't we
shit.
teach kids? Don't we teach kids for a reason as well? Not to push back too hard, but don't we teach kids so that because you can't teach adults things very easily?
Well, to tell the people in power to make that choice.
Yeah,
Why
if
would they
they're so
tell a
smart.
village?
Weird. It is fucking weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And then they're also the kids.
GPS malfunction. Okay.
Okay, so here's the quote. One fifth grader tells how he was warned about something that's going to happen and that pollution mustn't be. And then the 11-year-old girl said, I think they want people to know that we're actually making harm on this world and we mustn't get too technologued. Probably that sounds like an Anthony Lee made up word, but yeah, I don't know.
Good one. It makes sense. Add it to the Webster.
Add to the wiki. Add to the wiki.
Yeah, I forgot which podcast I was watching, but a military dude was talking about how like the arms race now is all these major nations trying to replicate alien technology because there's been crashes like outside of the US, like Russia and all these other places, and they're studying that and all the stuff that we have from like Boeing and whatever. It's inspired by the crafts.
What's disturbing to me that is touched on in Age of Disclosure, which I do recommend, is that they talk about how our government isn't even necessarily in control of this stuff because they have perhaps given all of the technology to private contractors, right? Like Boeing and all these other cats, like defense contractors.
Like Raytheon, Boeing, all these guys, they own the IP, and then apparently the crafts are in their possession, and then what the government's trying to do is get control of that. Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't watch the doc, but this is from like all the other sources. I put it together, but it seems like the intelligence community works in cahoots with private companies. When you're a private company, you're not subject to the law, like a public, sector. Because if it was government owned, then they'll be subject to disclosing things to the public. But then privately, they could do a lot of things,
Yeah, they can't Freedom of Information Act a company.
I wonder why, like, so far every, like, UAP or any of these things, why is it always so meet me in the middle to believe this?
Like, why can't you just land?
Like, how come nothing irrefutable has ever happened? Where, like, obviously you cannot dispute what we all are, like, simultaneously seeing and hearing. Everything is like, you got to kind of meet me halfway and then, like, accept it.
Sometimes get so clowned on. Like, if you remember the Phoenix Lights incident, where in 1996 there was a massive like UFO.
Why can't it be the Phoenix Lights that never fucking left for 30 years? And we're just looking at it like
This is like Jesus, Ryan. We have to meet halfway.
Because I like being skeptical, because when I see it, I want to be able to be like, oh fuck, it's fucking real, because I'm not trying to see it.
I agree.
But then, like, when it comes to UFO or UAP stuff, it gets very believe all women. Like, it's like, that guy said he saw something, and I believe him.
But it's interesting to see when things are consistent. Like the Phoenix Lights incident is so interesting to me personally, because it wasn't just the lights. all the witnesses talk about how when they saw this thing, it wasn't lights, it was a fucking uniform craft, and you could see the stars around it, but like under it they couldn't see anything, so it was like obfuscating the stars. So it was like a big uniform craft. And what's interesting about that to me is that the media immediately comes out and goes, people are seeing little green men, and they all uniformly did that at the same time. Like everybody in media was laughing at these people at the same time. So you can't exactly go out there and talk about it as a credible anything, because people are going, you should be on the X-Files next week. And so that's kind of what's fucked up about this topic, is they made fun of it so hard over the years. Even if you say flying saucers and UFOs, people just go, oh, Jesus, here we go.
The hint is that the media has some kind of reason to suppress it.
Absolutely. I mean, look at who owns the media, brother. Who's running the ads the most, you know?